Shalom, shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham Rachakwadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Salutations, much love and respect to you. I came out there pushing this word out in truth and sincerity. Yahweh is the name of the Heavenly Father, his true name in the ancient Hebrew. He only has one proper name, and his son's name is Yahweh Shai in the ancient Hebrew, and he only has one proper name. It's very important to know those names and to call upon those names if you are an Israelite in seeking salvation or help. All right. Now, now that that has been said, the question still remains to you Christians: why are Christians silent about this ethnic cleansing? Because that's exactly what's going on, and they're making it very, very clear, and Christians worldwide, well, specifically Christians in the West, they're silent or vocally supportive of this. Yet they follow around the Hebrew Israelites because we read about the prophecies of, how the Israelites will have our enemies in slavery. All right. How we will rule the world and things of that nature, and how there's going to be a retribution for the things that were done to us by the heathen. They go crazy when they hear that from us. They want to follow us around, stalk us, and say we're the worst things, the worst human beings breathing, right? That we're a great danger, a great threat. But you have people literally using the Bible, the Torah and the Tanakh, right, to justify ethnic cleansing. Okay? You understand what I'm saying? And genocide. You understand what I'm saying? I got to say it in those particular ways so that YouTube doesn't flag my my videos. Right? So at the end of the day, that's complete hypocrisy, man. And we're going to continue to call out your hypocrisy, to call out your partiality. When the scriptures say you shall have no partial, you should not be partial in judgment, right? Why are you partial in judgment when it comes to the Israelites? Why do you have a bias? Let's look this up. Okay, so it says let's do this. Let's do respecter of persons. Okay, this is Deuteronomy 1:17. It says, I'll read it in the NLT. It says, an impartial, let's start at verse 16. It says, at that time I instructed the judges, you must hear the cases of your fellow Israelites and the foreigners living among you. Be perfectly fair in your decisions, right? You have to be fair in your decisions. So when you look at a situation, the scriptures even say that you have to judge righteously, even if the person is wicked and he's going up against a righteous person. If the person who's wicked is correct, you have to judge that thing in the favor of that wicked person. There's a scripture that says that, because you're not supposed to be biased. You're not supposed to be, impartial in judgment. It says, in impartial in your judgments, hear the cases of those who are poor as well as those who are rich. Don't be afraid of anyone's anger, for the decision you make is God's decision. Is right. Bring me any cases that are too difficult for you, and I will handle them. All right. So, you're not supposed to be impartial in judgment, right? If you're going to judge something, you have to judge it correctly. All right. You have to use the same measuring stick. Now, what's going on over there? They're not using the same measuring stick for what's happening with them compared to with us. With us, they're watching us with a magnifying glass, straining at a gnat. But with these individuals, they're turning a blind eye to complete ethnic cleansing. That's the point I want to make.
In a stunning announcement, President Trump has called for the United States to take over Gaza and displace the entire Palestinian population in order to turn Gaza into what he called the, quote, Riviera of the Middle East. Trump's plan for ethnic cleansing has been widely condemned across the globe. Trump outlined his plan Tuesday in a joint news conference with Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu at the White House. In November, the International Criminal Court issued an arrest warrant for Netanyahu for committing war crimes and crimes against humanity. This is part of what Trump said on Tuesday.
Well, hold on. You're not speaking about the crimes, the war against humanity that this man is committing, right? He's even a criminal according to what? International law. You see what I'm saying? But the wicked are not gonna get judged for what they're doing. Okay, the scriptures say they are not in trouble as other men. He could do all that mass destruction, mass death. He can bring mass death and not go to jail. Not spend a day in jail. Either of them, any of them, right? Because they are the wicked. Okay. This is Psalm 73 and verse 5. It says, matter of fact, I'll start at verse 3. It says, "For I was envious at the foolish when I saw the prosperity of the wicked." Who's prospering right now in the world? The wicked, right? Trump, Netanyahu are of the wicked. They're of the wicked seed. Okay? It says, and that's why they're prospering in the world. Okay? Even though they do all this wickedness. It says, "For there are no bands in their death, but their strength is firm." Okay? And he's still doing world tours, speaking proudly, doing what he does. Okay? As a matter of fact, there's a lot of people in the state of Israel that's actually protesting against Netanyahu. Okay? It says, "For there are no," Salakia, verse 5, it says, "They are not in trouble as other men, neither are they plagued like other men." Yeah, they're not in trouble like other men. Okay? You understand? Jake has a freak off and he's in jail. Jake has a few freak offs, he's in jail. Okay? These devils, not only are they having freak offs, they're having they're doing ethnic cleansing, destroying whole community, blowing up hospitals with children inside, okay? Because there's a couple targets inside the hospital, doing all kind of wickedness in what you call it, wars against humanity, and they get to walk around, drink wine, they get to chill, go party, they do what they do, right? Hunter Biden smoking crack, while beating up prostitutes. He's doing all this on live, on the live stream. But he gets a pardon. You see the wickedness in this place, man? And it's not just Babylon. It's not just America. It's really in the Western society, period. The beast systems has brought forth a real wicked vibration through the earth. Starting with America, though, because America is that main hub of wickedness. It says, "Their eyes stand out with fatness. They have more than heart could wish." Yeah, they want more. "They are corrupt and speak wickedly concerning oppression." And that's what they do. right? They speak loftily. So when you go through something or something happens to you, well, look what they did. They're terrorists. It's not that bad. Well, they got hostages. The average person don't have hostages, right? That whole shit doesn't even make sense anyway. Okay, they took these people, and they clearly can't defeat the Israelis. The Israelis clearly going to destroy. So they just took the people so that they can basically obliterate the whole of Palestine, the whole of God. That's basically why they took it. Because what are they doing with it? They're hiding with them. Okay, let's hide with the hostages. What's the point of doing that? You got to think, who benefits from this? There's a saying in the Latin, cui bono, who benefits? Okay, you have to start using your brain, man. Okay, because they always wanted that part. That was always part. They always wanted that place. It was always part of what? The Greater Israel Project, man. Okay. See? It says they set their mouth against the heavens, and their tongue walketh through the earth. Let's go back here.
The only reason the Palestinians want to go back to Gaza is they have no alternative. It's right now a demolition site. This is just a demolition site. Virtually every building is down. They're living under fallen concrete that's very dangerous and very precarious.
So now they care about their health. Now they care about them. They're bombing hospitals and schools with children and women inside, right? But now they care about their health. Now we don't want you going there because it's dangerous. But they were blowing them up every chance they got. Come on, does that make sense to you? No, it's all an excuse to take the land. It's the same thing that they did to the Native Americans. Okay, our brothers Gad, our brothers the Gadites, the Reubenites. Okay, which are the Seminole Indians, the Issacharites, which are the so-called Mexicans, the indigenous. And all throughout the Central and South America, North, Central, and South America. They did the similar things, but they did it even worse to our people. Okay, let's go.
They instead can occupy all of a beautiful area with homes and safety, and they can live out their lives in peace and harmony instead of having to go back and do it again. The U.S. will take over the Gaza Strip.
Let's continue.
And we will do a job with it too. We'll own it and be responsible for dismantling all of the dangerous unexploded bombs and other weapons on the site.
What does Habakkuk, the second chapter, say? It says, woe to him that taketh that which is not his. You Christians don't even read the Bible. See, there's a bunch of precepts popping up in my mind right now while he is speaking. This is a Habakkuk 2:4. It says, behold, his soul which is lifted up is not upright in him, but the just shall live by faith. Yea, also because he transgresseth by wine, meaning his philosophy, who neither keepeth at home, meaning he's not staying where his home is, which first of all, his home is not even really the Americas, but now he's made America his home by stealing it, right? So now he's looking to take other people's so-called land, which we know that's not originally any of those people's lands. Originally, that's our land, but for the sake of argument, they were there before them Israelis got there. You see what I'm saying? And they had an agreement to only take a little part of land, and look at the land that they have now. So these Edomites do not keep at home, and they're both Edomites, whether they're the Ashkenaz, all right, and the rest of these the American so-called white person, the London so-called white person, the Swedish so-called white person, they're all Edomites. Right? They all have the same spirit that is not upright in them. So let's look at, let's see, Israel. Let me see if I can find an image. Israel occupation. Before and after. Okay. Now look at this. Right? This is supposed to be somewhat of a depiction of what it was before 1946, right? You had that was Palestine. This is what they had that, right? The Palestinians had that part, and then you look at 1947, bam, a huge jump, right? And then you look at 1949 to 1967, and then all the way to 2012. Look at what they have now, and they're trying to take that away. You see? You understand? So this is how Esau moves. This is how the devil does. And then he'll find an excuse to continue what his wickedness. He'll find an excuse according to, the scriptures say a wicked man will find an excuse according to his will. Let's go to that. Right? So it's not exactly accurate. No, it's a somewhat of a depiction of what was going on, of how much they took compared to what they were supposed to have. Now, let's go, and we don't have a side in this whole thing, but we can clearly see the hypocrisy in it all. Okay, we can see the hypocrisy in it all. Okay, this is Sirach 32 and 17. It says, "A sinful man will not be reproved." You think you could tell Trump something? You think you could tell not a real Jew something? No, of course not. Okay. It says, "A sinful man will not be reproved, but findeth an excuse according to his will." And this is what Esau does, and he's always done. He's always found an excuse. When it came to the Native Americans, we're taking this land, but they're savages. They're savages, They're over there eating people. You trust me, they're like beasts over there. But yet there's a contradiction in what the autobiography of Columbus said about the natives of Hispaniola. Okay. They had to make up a lie. They had to demonize them. The same way they're going to demonize the Israelites. The same way they're going to demonize the Hebrew Israelites is the same way that Esau has always demonized people before he's stolen, destroyed, raped, and robbed. Same playbook. They have not changed. This is why we say they have not changed. Are they all bad? They have not changed. The only thing that has happened is that they have masked their wickedness. That's it. When all hell breaks loose and things get back to a primitive state, if you will, because people are in survival mode, all right, guess what? These Edomites are going to go back to their original state of being the devil.
All the site and get rid of the destroyed buildings, level it out, create an economic development that will supply unlimited numbers of jobs and housing for the people of the area. Do a real job, do something different. Just can't go back. If you go back, it's going to end up the same way it has for 100 years.
Trump.
Yeah, saying if you go back, we're going to destroy you again. That's what he's saying. So where are you Christian? What do you Christians got to say about that? Is that Christian-like? Is that Christ-like in your eyes? Because you guys call him Christ. We don't call him Christ. We call him Yahweh Shai. We worship Yahweh Shai, but according to y'all, is that Christ-like? I'm asking you, Vocab, and the rest of you apologetics that like to follow the Hebrew Israelites around.
Went on to describe his vision of a U.S.-controlled Gaza that had been cleared of Palestinians.
We have an opportunity to do something that could be phenomenal. And I don't want to be cute. I don't want to be a wise guy, but the Riviera of the Middle East, this could be something that could be so bad. This could be so magnificent.
During his White House press conference, Trump was questioned about the role of the U.S. military in his plan to take control of Gaza and force out the Palestinian population.
And don't forget that, according to the prophecies, this Israeli state is going to drag America into World War III. And hey, you know what the scriptures say? That both of those lands are going to be completely destroyed by nuclear war. Okay, let's go to Jeremiah 49. This is Jeremiah 49 and verse 20. And it reads, therefore hear the counsel of Yahweh that he hath taken against Edom, right? The Edomites, and his purposes that he hath purposed against the inhabitants of Teman. Surely the least of the flock shall draw them out. Who's the least of the flock? Those small hats. Okay? They're going to draw them out. They're going to lead them out into war. Surely he shall make their habitations desolate with them, meaning that their land is going to be completely destroyed along with their land, which is not their land, but you know what I mean. The land that they're in, it has to be cleansed. So it's going to be hit with nuclear missiles. It says the earth is moved at the noise of their fall. Meaning, why? Because the nuclear missiles, and the earth is going to shake because the amount of nuclear missiles that are going to be launched. At the cry of the noise thereof was heard in at the cry of the noise thereof was heard in the Red Sea. So that's the point. Okay. The bottom line is they're going to drag Babylon into war. Okay. I'm going to play one more video. I'm going to wrap this up. Oh, Salaki, not this.
What's going on?
Salaki.
Prince Turki, welcome to the program. You have been digesting
because them Ishmaelite nations, they're not with this. They're like, what the hell are you doing, man? They're not with this, man. Okay, we're coming close to that World War III, man.
What came from the White House last night? You probably heard the view from Ramallah. So, is there going to be a united Arab front against this Trump vision?
Thank you, Ms. Amanpour, for inviting me. After hearing Mr. Barghouti, I really don't know what to add to what he said, other than to say that what came out of Mr. Trump is not digestible. I respectfully decline to add more disrespectful comments to that.
He said it's not digestible. That's why when you read Ezekiel the 38th chapter, it says that the dragons of Arabia are going to remember their nature. Okay? They're going to come up against you. They're going to unite, and they're going to come up against you. These Ishmaelites and such.
But it is a fantasy to not digestible.
Let me read that back a bit.
After hearing Mr. Barghouti, I really don't know what to add to what he said, other than to say that what came out of Mr. Trump is not digestible. I respectfully decline to add more disrespectful comments to that. But it is a fantasy to think that ethnic cleansing in the 21st century can be condoned by a world community that stays on its behinds and does not respond to that. The problem in Palestine is not the Palestinians. It is the Israeli occupation. And this has been clear and understood by everybody. Hence, you have United Nations resolutions calling for the quid pro quo of land for peace from 1967 until now.
But hold on. Let's look up. He said that it can't be. There's not the problem in the middle. The problem that in that area is not the Palestinians, but the Israeli occupation. Now, who said that? That there can't be peace. Gamal Abdel Nasser. They try to take these things off the internet once we blow it up to the world. Once we make it viral, they try to take it off the internet. Right, so I'm going to see if we can find that quote here. There we go. Now this is Gamal. This is a quote from Gamal Abdel Nasser, the second president of the United Arab Republic, formerly president of the Republic of Egypt. The Europeans claiming to be Jews are nothing more than Hebrew-speaking Gentiles. The late president of Egypt, Gamal Abdel Nasser, stated on television, "You, the JOOs, will never be able to live here in peace because you left here black and came back white. We cannot accept you." So why would he be saying that in 1952? Could what the Hebrew Israelites have been saying be correct? 100%. We are the true Israelites, man. Okay, you so-called blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans, man. They're just pretending to be you and using that as a justification to wreak havoc in the Middle East. That's all they're doing. And soon these things that we're saying now is going to be made illegal because they're getting ready to do away. You can't speak against the small hats no more. Remember, Trump signed the anti-Sem bill. So we're coming to the point where this word is going to be taken off the internet. Okay, point blank, period. And this is going to be a criminal offense. Then what? Then the tongue of the prophets are going to cleave to the roof of their mouth. Let's continue.
The Arab Peace Initiative, of course, is based on that and offered Israel not only diplomatic relation, but all of the things that Israel wanted, from trade, from normalization, etc., in return for the establishment of a Palestinian state with its capital in East Jerusalem. All of these things were American policy until this latest wording that Mr. Trump has chosen to use in claiming that he wants to do better things when actually it is going to turn things into more conflict and more bloodshed.
Can I draw on your long years of experience? You were Saudi ambassador to America. What would you be telling your capital, your king, in a cable, had you been in Washington last night in that position and listened to what came from the podium? How would you have explained it?
Well, I can tell you I'm glad I am not in that position, because there is no way that I can explain it. It comes out of the blue, and it is totally based on, as Mr. Barghouti said, on the Israeli position of ethnic cleansing. As you mentioned yourself, Mr. Ben-Gvir, who is the ultimate ethnic cleanser in Palestine, he's been saying this for the last 2.5 years since he...
Like he said it came out of the blue. It's like it surprised him. But what did the scriptures say? When you read Daniel's, what's that, Daniel's? I believe that's Daniel's. It speaks about the horn that came up and that it spoke great things. It spoke great things, right? So Babylon is speaking great things right now. Okay? So because with who? With Trump. Trump is the face of that. You can't tell me this ain't the guy, man. You can't tell me this ain't the guy. Okay? He's everything. When you read the scriptures, you read about these different things. He makes the words jump off of the pages because he fits it so perfectly. You understand? And we know it's not speaking about a guy, but he in one individual specific person, but he represents that. He embodies that spirit. You have to understand that.
Joined the government, and now he's justifying what he said by the words of the American president. That is unacceptable.
So what then is the next step? We've had everybody, from your capital to the neighboring countries, which Trump expects to take these, millions of Palestinians, reject this out of hand, say that it's illegal. We've heard the president of the Palestinian Authority. What do you think is the next step? What do you think is going to happen?
I'm not in government, so I don't know what my government will propose, but I would expect that there will be collective action on the part not only of the Arab but Muslim world as well, along with Europeans and other countries that believe in the two-state solution, to take up the matter, and where else but go to the United Nations. And this is the only arena where things like that can be discussed. Unfortunately, with the American veto, I cannot expect that there will be much success in passing any resolutions. But nonetheless, it will show that the world is opposed to this mad ethnic cleansing plan that the American president has proposed.
You're a really smart person.
So you know, the world is not with it. Most of these nations, they're not with what's going on. But Babylon, being the one that's riding the beast, right? Because remember, the whore is riding the beast, is controlling the beast. They have the final say. They're the ones that's in power. They're doing what they want to do. Okay, and they don't give a damn what anyone has to say about it. Right? Well, that's why eventually the 10 horns are going to burn her with fire. You know, I know I'm not pulling up the scripture, but you brothers know what I'm talking about. You know what I'm saying? You know the scriptures, right? So that's the bottom line. As a matter of fact, let me pull it up. Let me pull it up since I mentioned it, man. Let me pull it up since I mentioned it. This is Revelation 17 and verse 16. It says, and the 10 horns which thou sawest upon the beast, these shall hate the whore. Okay? Them different EU nations, right? They're going to hate the whore, right? It says, these shall hate the whore and shall make her desolate and naked, and shall eat her flesh and burn her with fire. Because she's doing what the fuck she wants to do. And she's causing all kind of problems. Okay? So they're going to end up burning her with fire, meaning what? Nuclear fire. They're all going to shoot missiles on America too. America's going to piss everybody off. And you can't tell me Trump is not the guy to do it. He's telling them you got to put in 5%. He's shaking things up. You got to start putting your part. He's cursing out all the European, the allies, right? He just put a tariff on it. Listen, Canada's an ally to America. You understand? They're in NATO. Canada's a part of NATO, the North Atlantic Treaty Organization. He just threatened to slap a 25% tariff on their ass to flush them the fuck out. To flush them out so he could take them over what the fuck is that? But that's supposed to be that's supposed to be your friend. That's supposed to be an ally. You see? So you can't tell me this is not the guy to do it. Biden wasn't doing it, but Biden was sleeping most of the time he was in office, man. Yeah, he did a few things. He signed a few, but most of the time he was napping. Okay? This guy is making things move. Oh, it's beautiful. It's a beautiful time we live in, man. Beautiful time, Akim. And shalom to you, Akim, on the comment board, man. So them nations that were with them, that's why it says they that eat that bread have laid a wound under thee. Yeah, the ones that are, you are supporting them, right? With your finances and so on and so forth. But eventually they're gonna say fuck you. And they're gonna just destroy you. All right? Because they're gonna find out the juice is not worth the squeeze. So anyways, let's continue.
And understands, sometimes things are said and they may hide a different meaning. Do you see is there any negotiating strategy here that you see that Trump might claim or his acolytes might claim?
I have no idea, and I cannot see anything other than a blank wall in front of me of total acceptance of the Israeli position by the American government. It's not only the president. We've heard also supporting calls from senators and congressmen and other of the American strata of politics supporting this call. So that is the unfortunate position of a whole structure that has been built in the past years in support of Israel.
As you know, and as we've said, normalization is a big strategy, a big goal of the United States, of Israel, etc. Certain Arab countries have always done that, but the crown jewel is your country, Saudi Arabia. Do you see any way, I know you're not in government, but your king and others have said in the past that there will be no normalization without a pledge for a Palestinian state and, in fact, for Israel to get out of Gaza. Do you think that still holds? Can you see normalization happening?
Indeed, and not at all. This morning, our foreign ministry issued a statement rejecting what came out of Washington in the last days. And this has been the position of Saudi Arabia from the beginning. And even before October 7th, if you recall, when Prince Mohammed spoke with one of the opposition television channels in America, he made clear then that the path to a clear Palestinian state is what we want to see as a result of any talks that we have with the Americans.
Right. So the Arab nations are not with it. So now what's going on with you Christians, man? What's popping with you Christians? You see? They're doing all this wickedness and you got nothing to say about it. But you're supposed to be all about love. God is love, right? So where's the love in that? This is why people don't take you serious. You're a bunch of hypocrites. We're equal all around the board. We even get on other Israelites if they do things that ain't right. Okay? You guys are a bunch of flipping hypocrites, man. Right? So just stay away from us, man. Because you're a bunch of hypocrites. You're liars. You know, you're weak. Okay? You go over there. Oh, well, don't you know there's Palestinian Christians that have been put to death? Don't you know that? Oh, there's a bunch of Christians out there. So why are you not fighting for your Christian brothers? Why are you not at least speaking up for your Christian brothers, at least? Yeah, because you're a bunch of phonies, man. With that, Lord willing, this is edifying to the elect. I'll say shalom.